Welcome to AP Workshops. Welcome to another technical section about Gen 1 fuel tanks and fuel pumps. Welcome back to AP Workshops. Welcome back to another one of our little tech video thingies. It's been a little while. I've got a few thank yous to say first for a few people that have been absolutely sort of amazingly supportive of our videos, and I'm really grateful to you. Richie Perro, you know who you are, mate. Thank you very much for everything. I see your messages. We see the messages. And thanks for your support, mate. You are the best. If you want to see any of Richie's messages, have a quick look down below. He's absolutely brilliant. He's a cool guy. But thanks very much for your support. Thank you very much for everybody for your support. Thank you very much for everybody who's given us the encouragement to make more videos. At this point in time, it is hugely busy. We are absolutely drowning in this workshop at the moment, but absolutely brilliant, and it's the best problem to have. Thank you so much for all of your support. A couple of people have been asking lately about t-shirts and about clothing. Have we got any because it's disappeared off the website? Yes, we have got some fresh, and I mean fresh. Basically fresh clothing line coming. That is now being built. I think there's about 500 t-shirts on their way to us, that kind of stuff, real soon. But that is that's coming soon, so there'll be a new merch line coming on. Well, thank you very much for everybody who's kind of given us a kick up the arse for that one. I really appreciate it. Right, back to the subject of today, to try and keep things short and sweet. We have now found a pretty disturbing trend that I want to make people aware of. Now, Gen 1, and then this is going out to Gen 1 owners specifically, because it seems to me that it's basically Gen 1 owners that have that are going to have to face this one. We had ourselves a situation a couple of days ago when we did this, where we had an SP on the bench at this point in time that we've just repainted. Yes, just repainted. So can you imagine the horror and the sinking feeling when I walked into the workshop on Tuesday morning last week and found the entire contents of that beautiful aluminium fuel tank all over the bench, all over the floor. Basically all over the fresh paintwork. The fresh paintwork absolutely was unmarked. Thankfully, the paint on the floor, however, destroyed, absolutely gone for. But the situation is that this is something that is starting to become a problem, and this is something that we've known about for a little while, and something now I'm going to talk about. We have got two types of tanks that go on Gen 1 bikes, plastic tanks and metal tanks. These both need to be handled differently. What I'm going to try and do is encourage you guys to future-proof your bikes. I know there are examples of guys out there that have had this problem, where the breather pipes which run on the metal tank from the cap to the base plate. So basically, if you imagine inside of the tank, you've got from your fuel cap to they run to these two little stubs on the fuel pump base plate, these pipes here. These are the pipes, these are the culprits, these are the bad boys that we found inside the SP. Now basically what happened was, it broke. It split off. The ethanol in the fuel that we're now being subjected to by our government, thank you boys and girls, basically are basically rotting the insides of the tanks. So what we've had is this split basically, all of the contents of the tank then ran through these vents, through the vents, all over the back of the engine, all over the cylinders, all over the exhaust that could well have been hot, all down the back of the engine, washed the engine, did us a favour in a weird kind of way, but also fell into the belly pan, all over the bench, and destroyed the floor. So effectively, that could have been a lot more sketchy. That could have been a lot more dangerous, because it did run over a hot exhaust. So if that was running when this happened, or you were riding that when this happened, that could have been quite sketchy. So with this in mind, we have, and we did quite a while ago, we actually built just basically a little kit to put together with everything that you need to replace this pipework inside your metal tank. So this is ethanol resistant fuel line, sorry. Ethanol resistant fuel line. Don't be tempted by cheap fuel line which is ethanol resistant. Ethanol resistance means that it could well be, because basically fuel line, it seems, is layered on the inside. Basically, it's built up of layers. Now, a lot of people are selling on eBay, because I've checked, and selling on forums and Facebook pages and stuff like that. They're selling ethanol resistant fuel line that is resistant internally. So if you have a quick look, I'm going to do a little bit of a close up here. So if we go and have a quick look at this. Okay, so if you have a quick look, these are built up in layers.
Oh, you both have layers. Oh.
This pipework is built up in layers. Now, a lot of people sell ethanol resistant fuel, which means it's basically resistant on the inside, but not on the outside. Now, the situation is with this pipework is that this is, in its entirety, is basically submerged completely inside ethanol rich fuel. So the pipe that you needs to be ethanol resistant externally as well as internally. Now, a lot of people are selling ethanol resistant fuel, like I said, which is internally resistant, but not externally, which is why it's more expensive. Okay? So when you are buying this pipework, if you want to go and source that somewhere else, that's absolutely fine. We sell a kit that we know works because we've tested this, no problems. You need ethanol resistant fuel, which is suitable for being submerged in ethanol fuel. We supply the clips. These are basically pressure clips that you can use pliers for, which have like, I mean, even tack pliers will do it. Standard pliers will do these. So they get on, so you crimp them onto the actual, like I said, onto the fuel cap and then onto the base plate to make sure that it's not going to come off. Once they're on, they're not going to break. So that is for metal tank guys only. So that's 98, 99 guys with metal tanks. That kind of fuel base plate, if you've got that. Now, on the plastic tanks, I believe they're kind of molded into the plastic, so you don't need to worry about this. Just metal tank guys. Future-proof yourself. Like I said, when we came in, back to that picture that we came in where the floor has now been destroyed. That was that. And we got away with the fuel. The paint was unblemished, so happy days on that one, thankfully on that one. Now then, metal tank guys, plastic tank guys, this is where it's coming from, and this is what I'm talking about. Basically, we have now put together a kit to future-proof your fuel pump assembly. So what we're trying to do is basically make sure you are now future-proofed and you can, or your bike will now handle, the fuel pump assembly will now handle this ethanol-rich fuel that we've got. This is the situation that we're finding, and we've had, well, put it this way, both of these fuel pumps came out of bikes that have had this problem at some point or another. So we've actually sorted a lot of this. So what we've got here is basically this plastic pipework here is getting eaten, this flexible pipework here is getting eaten, and this is the main culprit. This is causing breakdowns. So basically people are calling us, side of the road, it broke down, it still got spark, you can hear the fuel pump priming, and any of you the guys that have rang me to sort of ask this quick question, the fuel pump's still priming, can't hear what's going on, but the fuel tank sounds like it's bubbling for some reason. What's tending to happen now is that the plastic here, around this tension clip here, is basically being eaten away and it's breaking and splitting, so we're losing fuel pressure. This pipework here, which I've left here, basically is getting eaten away and it's becoming porous. Let me just do a little close-up on that one as well. So the fibre style piece of pipework that's covered in like a cotton outer is basically starting to get rotten, and what's happening is we are losing pressure. So effectively what's happening is we're not getting the pressure in the system that we need. This is causing a problem. So what we have done is put together a bit of a kit for people to actually deal with this problem. This is, like I said, future-proofing your bike. This is what we want to try and achieve in this one. So what we've got is a fuel pump pipe kit that gives us fresh fuel filter, proven pipework, which we know is ethanol resistant completely, the pipework which actually fits down here, so we know, and again, this is the same kind of pipework, slightly different size, but it's absolutely, this pipework here is resistant externally and internally, so is suitable for being submerged in ethanol fuel. Fuel pump base gasket, fresh one of those, and the clips. There's been a lot of bantering and toing and froing about the type of clips that you use on fuel pumps. And a good friend of mine, Westy, Marcus Westcott, his name is absolutely, like I said, good friend of mine, known him for a long, long time. He's been around the Aprilia scene since before God were a lad, I'm sure. He ain't that old, but he is old, and I can get away with that one. But basically, clips. People are using Jubilee clips on this pipework here, and it isn't working effectively. What happens is Jubilee clips tend to pinch the pipework so it doesn't sort of sit cleanly. And we've seen this quite a few times when I've rebuilt the fuel pump kit recently. This is the phone call that we get. I've rebuilt the fuel pump kit recently, and I still can't get it to start. I don't know why. We ask, and one of the kind of common questions that I'm asking now is, did you use Jubilee clips to seal the high pressure fuel line? If they say yes, then basically what we try and do is point them towards these crimp style clips here that we supply in these kits. The reason being is because this works, it's proven. We do it every day. We don't get a problem with them. We know they work, and they're a lot cheaper than Jubilee clips. A lot more reliable. Both sizes there to come for, obviously, for these pipework here and this pipework here. That will future-proof your bike. So Gen 1 guys, with this kind of pipework, even Gen 2 guys, I think are starting to see a similar problem, but it's not quite so prevalent. Certainly not with the tank breather stuff anyway, but this is certainly a Gen 1 problem that we're seeing. Like I said, I'm not going to worry too much about Gen 2 guys because I'm just not seeing it yet. So potentially it's looking like the pipework that they used on the fuel pump assemblies could well have been different. We don't know, but we're not seeing that problem yet. So Gen 1 guys, future-proof your bike, my friends. Sort it out however you need to sort it out. Like I said, we do have a kit. If you want to go onto the website, www.apworkshops.co.uk, have a quick look in the upgrades and essentials section. You'll find that we've got that fuel pump kit in there for you. That will help you out. So that's it. Not a scary story, but something that certainly made my bum twitch a little bit when I came and found a load of fresh fuel all over a paint job, which absolutely did. Like I said, that scared the life out of me. But look after yourselves, guys. Sort this kind of thing out because it just means it's not an expensive fix. It takes about an hour to do, maybe tops. Just whipping the tank out. It takes longer to drain the tank out, I think, to be honest with you, more than anything else. And while you're there, give it a clean out. Make sure you've not got any gunk in there. But take it all apart. Get that sorted out. Future-proof yourself. Save yourself a lot of hassle in the future. Thanks very much for listening. Thanks very much for putting up with my witterings once again. Massive, massive thanks to everybody who's given us the support, especially Motul Oils, RST Clothing, okay, ARAI Helmets. We love you guys. GB Racing, they've even sorted us out some flags now. We kind of watch this space for that one. It is coming. We've got some film footage done. That's all going to be pretty good and pretty exciting stuff. To everybody abroad, everybody in the States, everybody, even there's one guy that's contacted us from Russia. I hope you're well, mate. Take care of yourselves, guys. See you soon.